George, thank you so much for putting some points. And hey, let's get this party started, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome everyone, and this might be our 15th unfiltered chat via LinkedIn, isn't it? So thanks so much, guys, for joining in. So we have quite a lot to talk about in today's episode, and let's talk about Tether USDT. They do have a massive news and an announcement, and they are actually planning to launch a stablecoin which is going to be backed by UAE's Dirham, which is an absolute game changer in my opinion. Now, the collaboration that they are doing is with UAE's Phoenix Group as well as Green Acorn Investment. Now, what is really important to note, Markose, is that Tether Limited, they're actually seeking license from UAE Central Bank as well. So it's not that they're just going ahead and launching the product. They're probably taking the right regulations. They're taking the right approach in doing this. So it's great, that they're doing that front at least. And from a regulation point of view, I do feel that it is the right move. Now I'm pretty much sure there will be quite a lot of fake news on LinkedIn circulating it about this news as well. I haven't checked quite a lot of LinkedIn news. But yeah, I think it's going to be an absolutely game changer. And we've been talking about this, Markose, isn't it, in our Unfiltered chat. To have a stable coin that is actually backed by UAE Dirham, not necessarily the US dollar. So I think that's going to be really interesting. But I'm not sure what the actual use case will be, because you can't just use the regular Dirham, isn't it? If it is, let's say, restricted to a specific region, I'm not sure if people will be wanting to use this particular stable coin. Let's say we're doing transaction with someone in US, or let's say we're doing transaction in someone in UK. USDT, on the other hand, which is backed by the US dollar, that can be used, let's say, in UAE. It can be used in other countries because the value of the US dollar is kind of strong, isn't it? That's not to say that the value of the UAE Dirham is not strong. It is definitely good. But I'm still figuring it out as to what the use case will be. Now, based on the official announcement, they are saying that it'll be great for businesses to go ahead and use it, particularly in Dubai. Also, let's say at retail stores. But if that is the case, we can just use our regular UAE Dirham. I don't see the use case of USDT, but definitely good news in my opinion.
Yeah. No, sure. I guess on local space, but I guess I guess from the other side, just to be supportive of them, of Tether AD, is that maybe they're playing the longer game, right? Let me. I'm the big picture guy, so let's have a global view or geopolitical view. So, I like the country right now. What the top currencies would be: the US dollar, the Great British Pound. We got the euro. Then we got the Swiss francs, and hey, throw in the Singapore dollar too. So maybe in the future, I think I guess from maybe in a couple of years, or maybe in a decade or so, I wouldn't be surprised to see the dirham, the UAE dirham, to be one of the to be one of the major contenders, the emergent currencies in the future. So that is a possibility, and and of course, it's not a surprise that UAE has great ambitions.
Yep.
Not only in the crypto space, but on the geopolitical level. So, sorry, I got the slide now. But anyways, yeah. So, so that's why I can see a long-term point of view when it comes to Tether AED, because I think that's a play. I think if you look at let's look at the history. Look at the history of Singapore, right? It was a fishing village, right?
Yep.
Dubai was a pearl diving village, or in a sense, barely a village, but also as a, how do you say, it was a long history of trading post. But now, look at the state of Singapore. It has grown immensely. It's also a major contender in the crypto space, or in the tech space, in the research space. So many of the exchanges, they have beautiful offices in Singapore. OKX.
Yeah.
I know our friends from Zilliqa, they have an office also over there too. So, I think that there is a long game that Tether does see, and also makes sense. Hey, you know what? I think it'll help facilitate a lot of the, not only just the UAE transactions, even also UAE Dirham can be also spent in Oman, maybe in Saudi too. So if they have that first mover advantage, and we've seen in the space, right? First is first. So if I wouldn't be surprised that, hey, if Tether AED is going to be used on a retail level in Dubai or the UAE, isn't it a matter of time that you'll see Tether AED easily spent in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, and the GCC countries they're one of the most stable economies in the world. I know some of our American friends, some folks in the West have a very different negative view about the MENA region, but hey, we are doing good over here. So
no,
anyway,
I think
that's my 50 fils or 10 cents. I don't know. I forgot the conversion.
No, I think what you're saying is absolutely spot on. I mean, I definitely do think Dubai and UAE is doing economically great, and even so far as freedom to do things, I think it is definitely much better right now over here, and it's going to stay that at least for the next decade. Now, regarding inflation, because this Tether, which is backed by the Dirham, is going to be backed by the UAE Dirham, you also need to factor into inflation. And, if you look at inflation, it is not the best at the moment, but hopefully as time goes by, the inflation in the UAE region will actually go down. And something which I mentioned earlier on as well, they're seeking license under the UAE Central Bank's Payment Token Service Regulation. And I remember, Markose, when that news was out regarding the UAE Central Bank's Token Service Regulation, there was so much fake news, isn't it? People were actually saying that cryptocurrencies people were actually saying in LinkedIn that cryptocurrencies are no longer allowed, you can't make purchases. And we discussed this as well. So it's so critical that, we look at information from first source, read the actual official document. And later on, Markose, we'll also touch base on some news which was circulating, I believe, on Monday, where cryptocurrencies can be part of salary as a payment, which is not necessarily true. So we'll go ahead and touch base on that also later on. But going back to the news, regarding Tether USDTs, or rather Tethers, merging with or launching a Dirham-backed stablecoin, I really like the timing because just a few days ago, the Abu Dhabi Global Market, or rather the FSRA, that is the Financial Regulatory Authority of Abu Dhabi Global Market, they have released a consultation paper as well. And that talks about FRT, which is Fiat Referenced Token. And FRT or Fiat Referenced Tokens are essentially stable coins that are backed by, let's say, liquid asset in a single fiat currency, and they should be used as a medium of exchange. So, what I'd really recommend our listeners to do is, if you do have any feedback or comments, they are inviting people to go ahead and give any comments. So maybe, let's say, if you have any suggestion or have any valuable feedback, you can definitely go ahead and send it to them. And this is something what the US Security and Exchange Commission does as well. Whenever there is an ETF application, they ask people for comments and opinion. And regarding, the FSRA document, that is Fiat Referenced Token, they are still saying no to algorithmically backed stablecoin. Now, according to me, I think that is only because of the whole collapse of Terra Luna, isn't it? But I think, algorithmically backed stablecoin is something that you should actually push forward to. Because, Terra Luna did actually go belly up. But someone tried to find out a loophole. But I'm sure there are ways you can go ahead and manage that. I mean, let's say with Tether USDT, there is a possibility of something similar like a bank run to happen on Tether USDT. In fact, Paulo, who's the CEO and CTO of Tether USDT, he often said that a couple of hedge funds, they have tried to do that. But, people in the Tether USDT team were able to back it up with the reserves really quickly. That's not to say that in the near future it would not happen. But so far as algorithmically backed stablecoin, I think, there are ways we can definitely go ahead and work on. And probably the next move is for UAE to come up with an algorithmically backed stablecoin. Do a lot of due diligence. Now, regarding this Fiat Referenced Token, I just wanted to say that, the UAE Central Bank does actually want that, stable coins to be backed one-to-one by, let's say, the US dollar or now UAE Dirham to be precise. And the reserves can, let's say, be either in cash equivalent, government debt securities, and it could be approved by money market funds as well. And the issue was, let's say like Tether, they should have a certain amount of portion in cash as a reserve. So let's say people want to go ahead and withdraw all of the funds, they should be in a position to do that. So what I'd suggest, our listeners to do, and probably what we can do is probably in one of the sessions, we can just go through the consultation paper, and if we do have any feedback or suggestions to them, there is an email address as well as a mailing address. You can give them any feedback or suggestion on that.
I don't know. Right on, man. Right on.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of like reflecting on, Monday we had this announcement about the salaries accepted, in crypto. But I know, do you want to dive into it or?
Yeah, let's talk about it right now, itself, because since you're in the topic, isn't it? Now that is kind of not necessarily true. It is kind of misleading information. Now, what I'd really recommend everyone to do is, Irina Hiva, who's the lawyer who was often quoted, let's say, in CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, follow her on LinkedIn. And on the LinkedIn, she's actually clarified that there is a lot of headlines that Bitcoin or crypto was approved for payment in the UAE, and that has nothing to do with a specific case. So essentially, there was a case in UAE, I think it was Eco Tokens or EcoWatts token.
EcoWatt, yeah, it's that ESG thing. I'm familiar with that project.
Yeah, the employee was fired, and as part of his package, he was supposed to get X number of tokens. But the government said that, you still have to go ahead and pay it. But media actually took it that, it is accepting that as part of payment, and that is definitely not true. In her LinkedIn post, she's clearly clarified that UAE Dirham is the only legal tender of the UAE.
Yeah.
So, this is one of the reasons why there's so much of fake news and misleading information, isn't it? But yeah.
And I also, I have to say this, because I'm in some of these WhatsApp groups or whatever, these crypto groups, and they keep posting this bullshit. And, I don't know, some of the commentary and stuff is just not even, I don't know, level 0.5 or something. So, I don't know, people don't can't read or something, or they just like to fluff things up. Yeah, it just, I don't know, because I get it as a marketing person, sometimes, you got, it's the way how you write it and stuff, but there's no, how you search, right? There has to be some sort of a government document or like a cabinet letter saying, hey, you know what? Bitcoin's accepted as legal tender or something, which is not a legal tender here. You're allowed to use it, you could pay somebody in kind or whatever, because that person owe you something. So,
See, it's always the media who puts across fake news, but from a media point of view, from CoinDesk, Cointelegraph point of view, despite it being misleading information, they are still winning because they have got the number of clicks. That's how they make money. We are talking about it. So I'm pretty much sure some of them will go back to CoinDesk and Cointelegraph, and their job is done because they are earning money based on the number of clicks, isn't it?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, look, I respect that game, but see that part I get it. Kudos to them. I mean, I don't really have a problem with them. I have a problem with some of the people who are here.
Okay.
They just get easily excited about like a little child. I'm like, what? I don't know. So I guess I'm a little bit. I'm kind of annoyed with that, and you will not see me make any argue with people like in groups and stuff, because there's this law called the Brandolio law or something, because the more effort you try to, present your ideas or, show, and because someone else will not accept it or whatever. So I know. So I don't want to be a victim of that particular law. Apologies, I can't remember the name, but it's a law where say George, if you're trying to correct somebody, right? You present a lot of interesting facts. Okay, these are you put your best info out, but the other person doesn't really want to accept it. There's not even diminishing returns, anything like that. It's zero. So why play that game? So I think this is where I that's why I always stress with people to keep your circle small and work with the best people who you're able to work with, reflect with, and grow together. So that's how the Web3 space can grow. So to be honest, not the I can't even think of the word, just bunch of air, bunch of fluff. So
yeah, and just two things regarding the Tether back to UAE Dirham. I'm not sure what the market cap is, so I'm not sure how many Tether back to UAE Dirham they're going to be minting. So that is not clear at this point of time. Now, for folks who are interested in tokenization, I would really recommend you guys to go and check on Leo token, and the project is called as Eunice SED Leo. I think it means something in a different language. I've just sent it to you on the chat message as well, Markose.
Oh man, okay. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you. Okay, you know what? There's a favorite guy. There's a guy on Twitter I have a lot of respect for, Justin Bonds. He is, I believe, the co-founder of Cyber Capital. Is one of the oldest crypto funds in Europe. Mm-hmm. So he does incredible research, and that times he was wrong, but he always corrects himself. He acknowledges. So I guess that's the thing I like about this guy. So he does some really interesting posts, and he kind of goes through. He has his also criticisms on, especially on Ethereum, but also the BTC too. In terms of the security budget and stuff, which is true. I know BTC maximalists, you guys are effing annoying. So anyway, but there's a point he talked about Leo. He's like, how is this thing? This is a thing. Like, what is going on over here? So I don't know. I wanted to
it was
point that out. So.
It was a classic legal and regulated security token offering. I think what they did was absolutely regulated from regulation point of view. To spot on, because Simon Dixon, the OGs and the king of all kings, he was the guy who actually tried to do that. And now for people who are with Celsius, he tried to do something similar with Celsius, which completely went bankrupt, but Alex Mashinsky did not want to do that. So he was wondering as to why, because he could have essentially saved Celsius and people would have got a lot of money. So what they did with this Leo token is, I'm not sure how to pronounce this project, Mark. It's UNUSSED-LEO. I believe it is some Spanish word which actually means, or Latin phrase, which means one but a lion. So what they did was, going back to Tether's history, they had a company called as Bitfinex, and the parent company, I believe, is called as iFinex. And the bank from Poland, they had got it and frozen roughly around $900 million. So in order to go and give the funds and keep Tether operating, they went ahead and raised an STO, that is security token offering, and the token symbol for that is LEO. So it is legally spot on, and it is one of the great projects, and people who are interested in the tokenization should definitely look at it. So the investors, they were given these Leo token. It is kind of like a shares, and they got profit out of it, and I'm pretty much sure they've made the right move by that. And this Leo token can also be used with Bitfinex, which is the exchange, and you get a couple of discounts if you, let's say, or use that to make any purchases.
Oh, right.
As well.
I totally forgot about the Bitfinex and the iFinex thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now it kind of makes sense. Okay. Yeah, no, sorry, because it's hard to keep track with, the Bitfinex and the whole history. I do remember there was a lot going on, but yeah.
And they have, if I think going back to that FSRA by ADGM's document, they have to go, in future, if there are any other stablecoin issuers, they will have to provide monthly independent attestation of reserve assets, public disclosure of reports, and they also have an annual external audit. And, we've talked about Tether USDT's audit report as well, which is done by BDO Italy, which is a different firm. I'm not sure if that is an internal audit or an external audit, but it'll be great, I would like, the government of UAE to do an audit. That would be absolutely black and white, because honestly, I trust, for some odd reason, I do have this strong inclination, and I do trust the UAE government, at least, the Dubai government, at least that is what my perception is, which I can't say for any other country, to be completely honest, right?
I know, because, for someone like me, born in Dubai, but then I moved to the States,
Yeah.
and I came back here. But, I guess I definitely have I don't know, it is interesting to see because like there's always this, like East versus West kind of thing going on. And, the narrative is that, a lot of people trust the West, with the banking system, all that stuff. But, that's surface level, but that's not the case really. So, even if you look at some of the top banks in the world, honestly, you don't see American banks in the top 100. That's not the case. Not even a handful, really. I know about Singapore banks. They're good. The Swiss banks are losing luster. Their customer service is not the greatest. If you want to learn more about that, I want you guys to check out Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist. He has an incredible YouTube channel. So he definitely talks about that. Like, if you're interested in secondary citizenship and stuff, that's something to really consider. But also, because I also had a conversation with, with my partner over here, like, I mean, she still favors American banks. I guess you get better offerings and all that stuff. I mean, for her lifestyle now, but for me, I would prefer to use, Dubai banks, really. So,
Yeah.
In terms of safety, but, I guess like, and I guess my only criticism with some of the banks and stuff like over here is I would want them to have more offerings and stuff. It's like, especially for people in Dubai who travel quite a lot, to have a much more better traveler experience. And that's my only thing I really want. But in terms of banking security and stuff, the service could be better, I guess, really. But I know that it has improved quite a lot. I know Rakes definitely has a great service. So, I think overall you'll see, things are moving up over here. And I think globally too, I'm seeing a big, a big, but a slow shift moving towards the east.
Yep.
So I hope that the leadership here in the Middle East, especially in the UAE, particularly, they can capitalize on opportunity. And what you mentioned about, algorithmic stable coins, auditing, if they can be the first ones to do that, and, like really, the optics, bro.
Yeah.
It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely say that, so far as the Dubai government is concerned, I can definitely trust, hands down, probably the best in the entire world, in my opinion. Now, I also wanted to touch base on another thing, which is about the banking industry that you talked about. Since the last few weeks, Marcus, one trend which I'm observing is that the banks in the UAE, they're also trying to help out the so-called Web3 companies, which is so strange and beautiful because, if I'm not mistaken, it was Fab Bank, which is First Abu Dhabi Bank. They have opened up the doors for, people, let's say, who are offering crypto as a solution or blockchain as a solution, which is such a brilliant business area because these startups, they don't have banking partners, isn't it? And if I'm not mistaken, I need to double check, even Rock Bank, they recently made an announcement to go and work with, couple of companies that are offering cryptocurrency as a service. So that is absolutely a game changer. From a banking industry point of view, this is, a blue ocean area because I'm sure a lot of the businesses who are offering services, they will be benefited by it. So I definitely do think that is a brilliant move.
No, I guess, look, it makes a lot of sense because as someone who has a small business and someone who comes from a family who used to have a small business in Dubai, like since the 60s, like my dad has, especially if you're in the import-export business, trying to make payments to your partners overseas and trying to ensure that, hey, these documents are valid and all that stuff. Blockchain and crypto could solve these big issues for a lot of the small businesses. Because all of the businesses in Dubai, they're all in the import-export, and they're not the most sexiest businesses, and you won't see a lot. Again, this is why I have a gripe with some of the people in the crypto space and the Web3 space over here. I mean, you guys all hanging down downtown and all that stuff, but the ones who really benefit from it is the folks are in Karama and the whole side of Dubai. Like, they could really benefit because that's incredible amounts of business that is going to these markets, going to these places, and blockchain and crypto or Web3 in its totality can make businesses over here faster, easier, and reliable, and can really raise the economic value. And man, and you don't need to even raise taxes and stuff. I mean, the amount of volumes of business and economic prosperity, man, would be incredible. So my only hope is that the leader, the banking leadership and stuff, really understand this, So that's my hope, bro. Yeah. Because because I know the struggle, what collect money, to receive the documents, make sure that's on the, it is legit, and also making payments and stuff. Could really solve a lot of problems. I mean, make life easier and, be able to ensure that there's, a flow of steady business stability.
Yep.
I know a lot of people say as entrepreneurs that we love risk and stuff, high risk, high reward. But the truth is we are doing our best to lower our risk and make our life much more easier. So, this is a good first step, I guess. So.
The only drawback I could say now is that, when there was this hype about Metaverse, Markose, and I used to release an episode every Fridays about Metaverse, I used to see a lot of the banks from UAE getting into Metaverse, and I couldn't figure it out as to why they're offering this service in the Metaverse. Because look, when you talk about Metaverse, it has to capture all the 5 senses, but they were a bit too ahead. They tried to be a bit too ahead, and I used to always ask, what is the purpose of getting into Metaverse? It did not make any sense, and I'm not sure if Metaverse is dead yet. Hopefully we'll have a resurgence in the next couple of years. Hopefully Metaverse does actually get mainstream adoption. Now, Markose, let's talk about your favorite coin, my favorite coin, and people's favorite cryptocurrency, that is Monero. They are launching a token called a Tari token, which goes live on the 12th of September, isn't it? I think you're on mute, Markose.
Oh, got it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I've been waiting on this Tari update for a long time, so totally missed out on it. But I've been seeing a lot of interesting chatter when it comes to pricey coins like Monero, but also Xano too. By the way, which Roger Ver is also involved in it, so that's something to look into. If you check out this guy Vlad Castillo. He has his podcast called the Bitcoin Takeover Podcast. So really interesting podcast. He has interviewed Roger Ver, Peter Todd. All right. So I think the other guy, Aaron Day. But he'll be actually the MC for Monero-topia, which should be happening pretty soon, I guess. I'm not sure, but we'll let you know. It's going to be in Mexico City. Mm-hmm. Beautiful city, by the way. Mexico as a country. I know a lot of people are ignoring it, which is fine. I'm glad that they're ignoring it because, just so we have the BRIC countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, now add South Africa, I guess. There's a new emerging group coming in, George. It's called the N11. Mm-hmm. Now N11 is, these are the emerging countries like, I guess Egypt, Nigeria, Pakistan, Mexico. I think let me try to find that document. I think it's funny enough, it's coming from
South
Goldman
Korea,
Sachs. So
Vietnam, Turkey, Philippines, quite a lot of it as well.
Yeah, right. Mexico's there. Yeah. So, because I also really believe because initially, when you talk about the initial Bitcoin days and stuff, a lot of the early Bitcoiners, libertarian guys, anarchists and all who were into Bitcoin, many of them actually moved to Mexico. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the areas to avoid any ridiculous scrutiny from the U.S. government. So it is kind of interesting to see history repeats itself, so to speak. But anyways, just mentioning out there. But back to our favorite, Monero. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean that's about all I think, because of Fluffy Pony or Ricardo's Pony. He's part of this launch as well. Now in UAE we are restricted to Monero, so we can't buy or sell Monero, if I'm not mistaken, via cryptocurrency exchanges. That has been banned. I'm pretty much sure we can't even have any events regarding Monero. And these are one of the drawbacks of privacy concerns, and that governments can go ahead and put restrictions. Yeah. Now, regarding this news, and we're only talking about this news, the token that they are planning to launch, they aim to simplify cryptocurrency mining. So essentially what they want to do is they want to go back to the old ways how Bitcoin was mined with a laptop. That is essentially what they are focusing on. And which brings us to the next point regarding Bitcoin mining. Because look, Markose, we have talked this over and over again. Whenever there is a halving, one of the biggest industries that tends to go belly up is the Bitcoin mining industry. Answer is pretty simple. The economies of scale is high. The reward is reduced unless the Bitcoin price reaches to a really extremely high price. The miners are forced to liquidate. And one of the news that I actually discussed in today's episode is regarding Bitfarms. They have acquired one mining firm called Stronghold Digital. Now, what is interesting to note is that Riot Platforms, they were trying to acquire them as well. So my question to you is, Markose, if let's say the price of Bitcoin does not keep going up, Bitcoin miners are definitely going to suffer. Will we see a lot of centralization of Bitcoin mining? What is your thoughts on that?
I guess theoretically that we could see that, I guess, because you mentioned about the cost of electricity and all that stuff, just to mine Bitcoin is rising up. So obviously the smaller players, would get either they get bought out or they just they have to shut themselves out. They cannot, I guess, sort of participate in it. So, but yeah, so I guess we'll see that. But I guess I guess the simple answer is there is going to be there is a degree of centralization with the miners already. So I think the degree is going to increase a little bit more, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. I have to look at the hash rate map and see pie chart.
Let's pose a hypothetical, a bit of controversial situation. What if the miners start going belly up? If the miners start going belly up, Markose, let's say Markose is a miner who is able to offer, let's say, 10 trillion terahash per second. But if other miners are not in a position to go and have that kind of the mining power, could it be possible that the Bitcoin mining difficulty keeps on going down? Now every 2016 block it gets adjusted, but could it be possible for you to go and double spend? This in a Hollywood movie, it could be possible. In the actual world, it would be extremely less likely for that thing to happen. But if you have centralization of mining pool, it could be possible that you could shut down a couple of other operations and then go and do a double spend. That is extremely possible, and that's one of the reasons why having centralization of mining is definitely not good, isn't it?
Yeah, so let me just share the screen just a little bit. Let me see.
Is that because the prices or the numbers have changed drastically after the halving, especially in July, August. Does it have the date by any chance?
So this is what in
last 7 days.
In terms of the hash rate, this is from just for the audience. This is from coin.dance. So you could, if you go on the top, you'll see right here, it'll show BTC, BCH, XCC, which is a fork of BCH, and of course Bitcoin SV, BSV, which is also a fork of Bitcoin Cash. So you can see the block reward halving, this happened, you see all this good stuff, hash rate. So let me just, I'm sure you guys can look into it later. But let's look at the pie chart for the Bitcoin hash rate by the mining pool. So I don't know. Let me see if I can do this. Okay.
Yeah, last 7 days. Last updated just now.
Oh, no. Okay. So you got Foundry USA pool. You got Ant pool. If I'm correct, I believe Ant pool is connected to the Ant group. By the way, I could be wrong. I don't know.
I'm not sure, to be honest. Now, could it be possible the F2 pool and Foundry pool are all owned by BlackRock? I'm pretty sure they...
F2. I can tell you with confidence with F2 pool, because it's not owned by BlackRock. It's purely a Chinese company.
There was a guy. His name was Fish or something, right? Or it's named something on a fish.
I don't know about that. But I know like one the founder of XT.com.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the partners of F2 Pool. So see, a lot of these miners, many of them are part owners or have connections with. They have started some of the exchanges. So that's the kind of like the connection. Of course, you see Binance over there. Pull in. Okay, Tal is still there. Tal is connected with one of who's this guy from Bitcoin SV? Oh, Cavanair. So Cavanair's friend, I forgot, Stefan Matthews or something. So interesting stuff. So okay. So that's so you got some major big players, but then you also got some like the smaller ones, I guess. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see how this goes. So,
and this is exactly what Monero does not want to happen, isn't it? Monero wants to go back to the old way of working where you can still go and mine it, and that is kind of like the proper ethos of distributed or decentralization, you know how I like to call it. But yeah, brilliant stuff. Now, another news, Markose, which I'm not sure what to make of it. This is regarding MetaMask. They have a Mastercard. Oh,
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, do you have the Monero thing open up? Isn't it? I haven't checked. Let's look at the Monero hash chart here.
Hash rate. Okay.
2.65 gigahash per second.
Okay. So I remember they used to have a chart or something, like in terms of the miners. Hold on. Monero mining, let's see this. Miner out doing random X, proof of work, saddle healthy. Nice.
You can also go to the Monero mining calculator, right? It tells you how much of GPU is being used.
Oh, sorry. Because that's.
Yeah.
Okay. Decent, I guess.
I did see an Instagram post. I think someone did actually stay at an Airbnb, and in just a matter of 3 days, I think the bill was $15,000, the electricity bill. And,
damn.
Yeah, and he did pay them as well.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did actually pay it as well because he earned much more than $15,000 just for 3 days. So, but yeah, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just cut this out. So, yeah, interesting. That's gotcha. Oh, damn. All right. All right. Cool. Okay. So let's talk. Yeah, let's talk about MetaMask Mastercard.
Yeah, and they have launched a Mastercard, but what is a bit strange is, they have launched it to a limited group only in Europe and United Kingdom, and this, touches base on the pillars of open blockchain. Is it borderless? Definitely not, because it is only restricted to a certain amount of people. You could make an argument that they're just doing it as a test phase, and clearly this is what they're doing it for, a test phase, isn't it? They want to check how it works. Now, what they are saying, Markose, is that it works like a debit card where you have full control over your funds. The only thing I can say is, about the documentary on Netflix called as Bitcon. There's a really funny documentary, and people who have Netflix should definitely check it out, because the guy was trying to create exactly something similar, a debit card where you can go and spend a lot of your cryptocurrencies. It was an absolute massive fraud. It was such a fraud. The CEO at the end, he didn't even know what he was building. So it was definitely a great documentary, but looks like that is turning out to be in rotation. And that is exactly what MetaMask is trying to do, isn't it? But my question is, does this actually go back from Web 3.0 to Web 2.0? Why have a physical card when you have a mobile phone? I mean, that's how it should work, isn't it? I mean, people who are into running, I know a lot of my friends, they use the Garmin watch to go ahead and make payments. I use my Samsung watch often to go ahead and make payments. So I'm not sure why we are going from the Web 3 phase to going back to Web 2.0 plastic card.
Yeah, I mean, I have no I guess I don't have a problem with it. It's good to have some options. But I think for me, I would prefer to I would like to pay my cryptos directly than do it to an intermediary like Visa and MasterCard, or any of these, I guess, whoever these processors or whatever. I forgot the technical term for them, but yeah, I don't know. Kind of beats me. I'm not that excited. I mean, I know some people are excited about the MetaMask thing and MasterCard.
And there have been so many such scams, there have been historically many such scams. I think one of the scams was called as Black Card, which was in Dubai, where they were saying, this is a revolutionary technology where all your cryptocurrency is going to be stored in your card. So, I don't understand why to do that, because that is literally going a step back. Now, Markose, one of the biggest news that I'm seeing is regarding China. And I'm not sure why this is not getting a lot of mainstream adoption, because China wants to make virtual asset transactions and as money laundering. And, the Supreme People's Court and the Supreme People's Procuratorate have actually announced that, virtual asset transactions are money laundering. And this was a revision to one of the laws going back to 2017, if I'm not mistaken. But this effect that virtual asset transactions are money laundering have been taken effect already. So I'm not sure, if other countries will try to do something similar. And I'd really like to see a lot of mainstream media covering this, which just means all of the online gaming cryptocurrency or tokens that would be considered as money laundering. It is an absolutely massive news, in my opinion.
Atrocious, first of all. I'm just like angry, I guess. I'm kind of annoyed by this. I'm like, what? I can't believe these guys are serious. But I don't know. But I really believe that, okay, if they're gonna push this through, I think it's gonna push a lot of people, honestly, into the black market, and maybe some. I don't know. I guess the good news is that it'll put people in the black market, and actually people will learn what actually cryptocurrency is, what is really a crypto, so, but at the same time, I'm just like blown away by, not blown away. The actual word is, it never ceases to amaze me that not our politicians, our bureaucrats, and, as for particularly the Chinese bureaucrats, I don't know about India or something like that, but like they want to push this thing. I don't know. Are these guys asking for a social revolution or something? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure the Chinese market is not doing that great. There's inflation going up.
Yep.
There a lot of the millennials, like myself, I'll throw myself I know who are struggling with work and stuff. We're seeing that. I mean, there's going to be like a rise of social upheaval, and then they want to throw these stricter laws and higher taxes. I mean, I don't know. I think to me, is this making things honestly unsafe? And and especially because like when it comes to like gaming and stuff, like a lot of people, I know a lot of people in China, so many parts of the world, they use gaming as a way to detach themselves from reality. It's a stress reliever, and and also like they use gaming coins as a way to make money and stuff. Like I don't know, I know I'm just seeing like red flags, man. So anyways, I know it's not to go like on a social tangent, but
part of me kind of agrees to it as well, because when you talk about cryptocurrencies and tokens in the gaming platform, I'm sure notorious people will be using that for money laundering, but I'm hoping that the number is ridiculously less. But to have blanket ruling, I think that is definitely not great, because look, people in India, or rather the government in India, I'm pretty much sure they'll try to onboard something similar, because you need to understand that China, India, they're all part of the BRICS nation as well, isn't it? So could it be possible that they go and implement that in BRICS nation? I'm hoping they don't, but let's see what the implication to that is. But yeah, I think that those were some of the mainstream news for the last week, isn't it, Marcus? Not much going on besides that. Regarding cryptocurrency market, I'm seeing not much movement. The prices are relatively flat. The meme coins definitely pumped up, but not as much. If you look at the volume of stable coins, the volume of stable coins is low, considering the fact that we did have a market crash. And what I was doing, Marcus, I was comparing the numbers of August with that of March, and I hate saying this, the number in August is absolutely sad and bad, because in March, Ethereum's market cap was about to touch the $500 billion mark, but right now it is hovering around the $300 to $320 billion mark. Even Bitcoin, it is hovering somewhere between the $110 to $115 billion mark, and that has been going on for at least for the past 3 weeks. And if you look at the volume of stable coins, in March, it was relatively better, but now because we had the collapse and because the market did actually go down, I was actually hoping that the volume of stable coins would actually bump up. Now, there is one anomaly, Marcus, which I did actually notice, and that was, I believe, day before yesterday on the 20th of August, Orca, the volume was almost $3 billion for 24-hour period. So I really am not sure. I try to check what is going on in Orca. If any of the listeners know what is going on in Orca, what did actually happen on the 20th, please let us know, because I couldn't find it. And this was not a reporting error, which sometimes happens in DeFiLlama.com. So there was a significant movement in Orca, and significant as in more than 6 times of what happens on a usual day. So, Orca had a massive anomaly, well over $2.7 billion. The next day, it was down to $300 million.
Okay, let me just... Well, I just want to share this. Alright, let's see. Alright, bang, allow. And, alright, cool. So we're looking at Orca. I'm just looking at CoinGecko, so maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, just for one particular day, which was completely bizarre. Maybe if you look at 20th, only on 20th, or rather, we may want to look at 19th and 20th. So if you look at it 24-hour basis, isn't it? Other than that, Solana's volume has been picking up. So I tend to look at, the volume of decentralized exchanges, the top 5. This entire week, Solana has been picking up a lot of volume. Now, regarding Ethereum, Marcus, I did actually cover in my Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast, and I did actually reply to a LinkedIn message as well. The Ethereum gas fees has actually gone down. Now, there are 2 ways of looking at it. If the gas fees has gone down, which just means it becomes easier for developers to go ahead and build decentralized apps on Ethereum blockchain. But the second way of looking at it is it possible the gas fees has gone down because there is no activity going on in Ethereum, and people actually switching from Ethereum to Solana, or let's say Avalanche, or let's say Aptos blockchain? Because there is a high possibility of MakerDAO to switch from Ethereum to, Solana blockchain as well. And if the gas fees goes down, it also means that the burning mechanism is affected, which would mean that the supply would increase. So there are 2 ways of looking at it when the gas fees are going down. You can look at it in a positive way, where developers can go ahead and build more things. But on the other flip side, the burning mechanism gets reduced, which means less coins are burned or less tokens are burned, which would mean the supply increases, and are people actually leaving Ethereum and building it on Solana blockchain or layer 2 solution? So those are the things we need to think about as well.
Yeah. I was about to mention about we've seen a lot. I mean, we saw a lot of meme coin activity on Solana.
Yeah.
But now our buddy Justin Sun brought in Tron.
Yeah.
Trying to get memes. So, I mean, what's your take on Tron though? Because apparently, there've been a lot of memes being built on Tron, and also Tron kind of slowed down a bit too, apparently. So I don't know.
Me personally, I'm not a fan of Tron blockchain at all, because I do find a lot of shady things going on. I think our listeners should know that Tron blockchain is a fork of it, or not a fork of Ethereum. Essentially, what he did is he copy-pasted the code from Ethereum and he started Tron blockchain, which is fine. Binance Smart Chain is exactly the same, but Binance Smart Chain has actually said that, we have taken the code from Ethereum. Tron blockchain, they are refusing to state it as the code from Ethereum, and that is a big red flag as well, isn't it? But me personally, I'm not a fan of Tron blockchain. Me personally, I'm definitely not a fan of Tron blockchain, to be completely honest, because there is a very high possibility. Even Solana blockchain, I'm not sure, Marcus, if you know, in 2020, the total value locked used to be $240 billion, and this is going back to our volume regarding DeFi. From $240 billion total value locked, it did actually go down to $30 billion. Now, the reason why it went up to $240 billion was people in India from Solana blockchain, they were reporting the numbers twice, in certain times 3 times. So let's say if I give you 10 dirhams, they were reporting it that I gave you 10 dirhams. Oh, and Markose also received 10 dirhams, isn't it? So let's go ahead and report it twice. Then they were saying, because there's $10 each, maybe we need to go ahead and report it that Solana has received $10 from both. So one reporting was done 4 times. So, that's one of the reasons why the total value locked was $240 billion. From $240 billion, it went down to $30 billion. That is the total value locked for DeFi. And look, Marcos, I hate saying this. DeFi is absolutely horrendous. The volumes are absolutely rubbish. When you talk about decentralized finance, we are talking about the entire world. The numbers are not more than $5 billion. We talk so much about yield farming, we talk about, MakerDAO, we talk, everything is dead. I'm literally not seeing it. Have you seen any news regarding yield farming or?
No, not much. I haven't heard much really. I've been following some trade, just kind of a lot of researching, different YouTube channels, trying to, especially in the crypto space. So, there have been some talks about they do potentially see some uptick with DeFi because, now things are down. This is actually a good time to get in from a trader's point of view. But I know I'm not gonna lie. I do struggle with, I'm not really that confident. Let me just share my screen. I'm just going on CoinGecko, the different categories they have. Oh, okay. Hello. Okay. All right. So, let's see. All right. So, decentralized finance. What right now? 24 volume.
Yeah, $4 billion.
4 billion.
Yep. I don't think so. It has crossed the $4 billion mark, to be completely honest. If you look at DeFi's dominance versus global, see, look, the DeFi dominance, this honestly, Marcus, should be somewhere between the 60% mark, if I'm completely honest. We talk about decentralized finance, instead of it being 3.3%, it should honestly be somewhere between the 60% mark, because that's what Ethereum is, that's what decentralized finance is, isn't it?
Yeah. I know, but could it be possible that, because I know, sometimes the reporting on some of these...
No, this is spot on.
Aggregator...
No, it is absolutely spot on. Yeah. Because this number of 3.3% markers that you're seeing in 2020 used to be somewhere between the 16 to 18% mark. which was at the initial stage. So you could say, okay, we are in the earlier stages. So from 16 to 20%, it should actually pump up to, let's say, 30 to 40%, maybe 60%. But it has been going down, which is absolutely bizarre. So if you look at it, is there any way you can check it for 2018, 19, 20? Because that's where the narrative was decentralized finance. I'm not seeing pretty much any news regarding decentralized finance as well.
Yeah.
Say, 121, 159, 147. And that was the time when they found out that Solana was, and it was apparently some guys from India who were double entry, triple entry. Then after that, if you see, the total value locked is just on a downtrend, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like a huge drop, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because I would really like to see the volume of decentralized finance be much higher than stable coins. You can make an argument from a philosophical point of view that stable coins are also under decentralized finance, but you could also go and say that. You can also say that Bitcoin is decentralized finance, which it is. But if you look at pure decentralized, I mean, to be honest, I'm not seeing any news regarding decentralized finance or any DeFi protocol news as such. Because
I've seen some couple of startups.
Yeah.
I did come across. I think the issue I have is I'm not seeing much novelty, I guess. So what makes them different is maybe it's another marketplace. I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's just
and I'll tell you what. What took the momentum away is the meme coin, Dogecoin took over everything, and then Shiba Inu. That is what drove a lot of momentum, I think, from the whole DeFi sector.
I got okay. Because I know there's some folks who I respect, but generally too, a lot of people see meme coin as a way to educate the noobs, the new people, the newbies about crypto. But for me, my controversial take, or I guess you call it my hot take, is that meme coins is, how do you say, it's not a natural demand or like a natural creation from the marketplace. To me, it was a psyop. It's more like a creation, a man-made creation, in the marketplace. Definitely I don't see any new people who I come across talk about meme coins and stuff. This is totally manufactured, so it hasn't increased adoption or anything like that. I know, I just find and it's kind of distracted a lot of people from actually putting real human effort into building stronger infrastructure for privacy or market efficiency, or on-ramping.
No, I mean,
creating an economic zone.
I do think Shiba Inu is fundamentally extremely strong, Markose. Their infrastructure is really strong. If you see the way,
maybe I guess when I mean meme coins, I guess I'm talking about I guess in generality. I'm not talking about not Doge or Shiba Inu. Doge, look, BitPay accepts Doge for payments, and actually it's the most used one in terms of buying coffee or buy some snacks. But if you're talking about meme coins, what you're seeing pump.fun or something like that, or now coming up in Tron, there's no real use case value whatsoever. At least you can say with Doge and Shiba, you could buy something if they have huge market caps. There's some more utilities to the token, but on a general, I just don't, man. It's just a major distraction.
And did you see the tweet by Elon Musk on Monday, where he was asked by President Trump to serve in his administration, and he actually said that he will serve, and he actually said that willing to serve, and he talked about as the Department of Governance Efficiency, and he's talking about DOGE, so Department of Governance Efficiency.
Oh, dude, this guy.
I think he's a genius, man, to be honest. I mean, sir. That was
Yeah,
his tweet.
yeah.
So this was his tweet.
That's a good take, by the way. I like it. Good play. Good play.
And I think, we are pretty much done with everything else, isn't it, Markose? Do you have any update from your end, though?
Update on my end. Hold on, let me. No, I guess okay. From my side, with I guess it includes Society X, but is more of ORT. As for all the new people out there, ORT is a verifiable cloud computing platform for decentralized AI applications in storage, data processing, and computational power. So it's currently in Shenzhen right now. He's at the Shenzhen Data Exchange. So it's an over $1 billion marketplace where you can exchange data and stuff. So ORT is actually the only American and Web3 company to be listed on the Shenzhen Data Exchange. So kudos to Dr. Max Lee, Michael A. Robinson, and also the leadership too, who made this possible. So this allows us to sell data sets in the marketplace for large language models and other emerging tech applications. So that's great news. And also another great news is that Dr. Max Lee, who is the CEO of ORT, was interviewed by none other than George from Blockchain DXB. So that's a great update. And by the way, some of my colleagues did enjoy the podcast. So I need to post this on LinkedIn also. And also with ORT in collaboration with Society X and some other upcoming partners, we will plan to have some networking meetups during the weekdays. So, George, definitely would love to have you join us. So my idea is to have like a networking session, but also maybe we can do an on-site, unfiltered, unbiased, just great conversation. So we'll plan. What I can tell you is we will have it at the In5. So, which is going to be in Media City.
Yep.
So definitely a great place. So we have a great partner who's going to support us. And so we're going to have conversations on AI, but also blockchain as well too, because obviously AI touches everybody in our daily lives. But behind the scenes, we also have to talk about blockchain because blockchain will be powering AI applications. So definitely would love to have those conversations and presentations. And definitely, George, would love to have you there. And of course, we're also going to have some free coffee too. So we'll keep you guys posted. So either it's going to be the beginning of September. So that's the game plan. So yeah, that's the update I have from my side.
That's great. Yeah. And for other guys, who want to start the podcasting journey in Fi, they have a good podcasting program as well, and you can rent the studio at a really, really cheap price. I think it's 100 dirhams per hour, and the equipment that they have is absolutely world class. The mics that they have is ridiculously expensive over there. But
you've been there?
Yeah, I mean, I did have to speak to the team from Podio because they have a partnership with Podio. I mean, the mics that they have is ridiculously expensive. It's a German company. I think it's Newmont something. I forgot. I don't know how to say that name. But the mics are ridiculously expensive, probably the best in the entire world. Apart from that, some teeny tiny update regarding me. In the month of September, I do have quite a lot of events. One is the Bitcoin beginner event. I also have a Bitcoin Festival session, which I tend to do every month. And I do plan to do a session on Stablecoin. And we also discussed this, Markose, about explaining what Stablecoins is. Now, because we have Tether working with a UAE-backed Stablecoin, will definitely go in touch based on that. I'll also do a session on Metaverse, explain what Metaverse is, We'll answer, is Metaverse actually dead? Or do we still have some time for resurgence in Metaverse? And we also have a session on central bank digital currency. So if any of you guys want to sponsor the event or have any additional points, you can always drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. But yeah, other than that, not much. I think we've covered pretty much everything else, isn't it?
Yes, sir, we did. Yeah, no, I guess we covered quite a lot. So I'm sure there'll be some new crypto updates, some news coming in. But you know what? That'll have to wait, and we will definitely have those conversations next Thursday.
Yep.
I mean, just because, right? I mean, we saw the news about the crypto salary thing. Everyone got excited about it, jumped with joy and happiness and skittles and giggles and all that stuff. But as you know, George, I know you have looked into it.
Yep.
So I think it's always good to be patient. I guess aggressively patient and find the facts and have real conversations about it. So
yeah, and just one thing which I wanted to say is, Markose, and this is from a crypto market macro level point of view. The next event that you may want to look at is the 18th of September. That is when the next FOMC meeting is scheduled to take place. So because July 1 was on the 31st of July, looks like there is no FOMC meeting in August, and the calendar is out. The calendar is out for 2025 as well. So the next session will actually take place on the 18th of September, and there is a very high chance that Jerome Powell will actually reduce the interest rate, which would mean the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency should be pumping up. So 2 or 3 days before the 18th, I'm definitely going to see a lot of Bitcoin whales and cryptocurrency whales trying to manipulate the market. So it's going to be really wild times, just 1 or 2 days before that day. They might try to dump it, I think so. That's what historically happens, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that'd be interesting though. So, but I know when it comes to the FOMC and a lot of the government data stuff, I don't know, you keep track of it quite well. Honestly, you're the only one who does that. I don't see anybody else do that. So I am very grateful to you, George, for your work. And you know what? That's why I would love for people to attend some of the Society X and OAT sponsored meetups and sessions because definitely we need to highlight some of the work that you're doing because it does have because a lot of people understand the Bitcoin FSRA, AI applications, also Metaverse too. I know I kind of like lack of a better word, shit on Metaverse, I guess, just because just been disappointed, I guess.
Yeah.
But I did see some really good companies. There's a company called Batom, BATOM.
Okay.
They have worked with Diageo, some really good companies with a great virtual experience. So definitely I'll share that later after the show. But I guess, but the main point is that, we definitely want more businesses, especially, to understand some of this technology really well so that they can adopt it and benefit from it. I mean, that's one of the most important things because you're here in Dubai. It is one of the business capitals in the world. And crypto, blockchain, Web3-based solutions will bring more prosperity, will make things faster, easy, and reliable. So that's something I want us to really play a part and make things happen. So anyways, that's about it, folks. So y'all be good, y'all be safe, and George, please end this.
Thanks everyone for doing this. Thanks for joining us. If you do have any feedback or suggestion, if you have given any wrong information, mention them in the comments below. And if you do need any advice or consultation, always drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. And cheers, guys. Have a nice weekend, dude.
Adios. You all have a fantastic week.